Alrighty, fellas, good morning, good morning. Yo, what's up? My name's Patrouski. Welcome back to our PokeMMO stream recap. And you know what? Let's just go ahead and address the elephant in the room, okay? Yes, Boner is back on stream. How did you guys know? Boner's back on stream. We're approaching the Halloween season. Not all the decorations are up quite yet, but we're getting started, okay? But in all seriousness, let's just be kind to each other today. Love you all. Happy to have you here. Let's play some PokeMMO, okay? All right, let's jump into this. Is your stream recap, your daily stream recap, your source of tips, tricks, information, daily news happening in PokeMMO. Okay, so we're gonna keep the conversation about that today. Let's go ahead and cover the upcoming events. There's a lot of upcoming catch events, including like 2 multiple catch events tomorrow. So let's go ahead and jump into these. First things first, I know some of you guys have seen these catch events multiple times, so apologies if you're kind of sick of them, but for some of them they're new and you got to reintroduce these every single time and every single day. So let's jump into it. 2 p.m. ET, there's a Houndour catch event coming up around 2:14 in Sinnoh. You're gonna have 1 hour to catch Houndour, Sudowoodo, Mothim, Girafarig, and Stunky as fast as you possibly can, and then a +5 Modest Nature, of course. It's all for a shiny Houndour prize. Really good shiny to win for free. Shiny Houndour, you can evolve it into Houndoom. You can even use it as a special attacking fire type Pokemon within raids upcoming during the Halloween holiday event season, so check that out. Next up, we have the Hoenn starter trio. This is on Route 101 in Hoenn, really importantly, so it's very, very early into the game, very doable by all types of players. At 4 p.m. ET on Sunday, the 14th of September, that's this weekend, Zigzagoon, Poochyena, Wurmple, Jigglypuff are your catchable Pokemon. Got some species bonuses, and then Trico, Torchic, or Mudkip are your prizes. Next up, a Seeking and Magikarp themed event on Friday the 19th of September at 2 p.m. ET. Fuchsia City in Kanto. You do have to fish for this event. If there's like a little water patch behind a house in Kanto that you go to, you will need, I recommend, a Super Rod, I believe. You could Old Rod if Magikarp is catchable. You know what? The strat for this event most definitely is going to be using Old Rod only, in my personal opinion. Definitely make sure you have your Old Rod in Kanto and have like nest balls or something like that. You could probably just spam Old Rod fishing and then spam nest balls and catch only Magikarps, get some good breeders, as well as have a good chance of winning the event. Once again, that is upcoming on Friday the 19th of September. That's next Friday, I believe, so we have a little bit of time to prepare for that one. The prize is a shiny Goldeen. Womp womp. Not the best shiny in the world, but still a free shiny if you win it, and you still get some nice RP as well, especially for an Ironman account. That really matters. Next up, this Saturday, the repeated community event, the Safari Showdown. If you haven't heard about it, catch up, man. It's a really cool, really unique event where people have, there's a catching event competition at the start for the first hour, first 30 minutes. Yeah, first 1 hour, and then afterwards there's a PvP tournament. Really cool 2-part event that anybody can really participate in if you just have access to the Safari Zone where they're hunting at, which is really, really cool. And it'll be at 5 p.m. UTC on Saturday. If you have any questions, you can message Pokedex in game. Next up, the Chinese catch events. So many catch events to cover nowadays. The Chinese catch events, I've been trying to shout them out and draw more attention to them, especially if you are a graveyard shift worker or an Australian PokeMMO player. Australian Ironmen in PokeMMO legitimately are at such a severe disadvantage. I really feel for my fucking Australian Ironmen out there. You are playing, like, not only are you playing an Ironman account, which is already difficult, you're playing in a time zone, which is difficult for you to make catch events, which unlocks some of the best resources on an Ironman account with the RP, right? So you have this shiny Basculin catch event at 7 p.m. Beijing time. If you Google like 7 p.m. Beijing time to ACT or whatever time zone you're in, it should help you out there. That's on the Friday, September 12th, so tomorrow. I believe that is tomorrow. And then Route 1 in Unova. Anybody can show up to this. It is a fishing event as well. Once again, that is, I believe you either have to fish or surf on the water. I can double check in game really quick. Bastion's a weird one at this spot. I believe it was added like later on. Let's see, route. It says Route 1 in Unova. It's a water encounter, very common. So you should be able to just run back and forth on the water, which is faster than fishing for it. So that's good to know. Next up, the Lickitung catch event. This is on Saturday, September 13th, this weekend, 2025, at 1600 Beijing time. I believe this is like 6 p.m. ACT, which is Australian Central Time, which is why these events are important to call out. Johto, Safari Zone in the mountainous area, Lickitung, Larvitar, Rattata. All this information can be found over on the forums. I do have a guide coming out, actually, a full-on guide talking about how to translate, how to find these Chinese catch events. Sometimes they don't show up on the forums. It's very, very strange. Anyways, let's move into what I think. I need to think about this more. think about this more and just consider more possibilities, I almost think this is just an objectively good update for the game, but I don't know. I have to think about it a lot more. But from what he's saying and from what I'm reading, it seems really, really, really good. So this post is remove the damage cap in PvM. He's going to specifically talk about raids and introduce instead a damage debuff. He's trying to introduce a redesign for the way raid damage works. If you don't know, raid damage is capped. So for most raids, you could only do 6% damage to the boss. Otherwise, you could just, blow through all the raid. It would be really stupid. You have to have this very specific mechanic, right? So instead of a damage cap, he introduces a damage debuff, and that basically down to 6% or whatever, and that basically allows you to do more damage, but it encourages you to do things to reach higher damage. Well, he'll explain it a lot better than I am. Let me see. First of all, let me preface by saying that it's super fun to have PvM or raid encounters in PokeMMO. I have been an avid RPG/MMORPG fan for years and a big PvE player in those games. Also, can I just say, shout out to him for using the word PvM and PvE and not losing his mind. Dude, I have seen so many comments recently. Some people hate when I say PvM. If you don't know, PvM just stands for player versus monster. PvE is player versus environment. They're basically the same thing to my understanding. Pretty much interchangeable. There might be some small differences, but dude, some people in the comments, I've had people being like, hey man, I cringe every time you use PvM. It drives me crazy. Stop using it. I've had some people get really mad at me recently for using the word PvM. It's just the term that I use because I grew up playing RuneScape, and RuneScape players use PvM. I think someone said Diablo players also use PvM. I'm not familiar with, all the communities, but some people say PvM, some people say PvE. It's just not it's a very small difference, regional difference, one might say. Anyways, if anything, I'd kindly asked to have more of them. So, yeah, everybody wants more raids all year round. Yep, this guy wants permanent raids. Super agree. Anyways, but diving deeper into the suggestion itself, the raid encounter design as it is right now is rather boxed in. As much as at the end of the day, all the numbers can be crunched down. The way encounters are designed right now leads to the current raid team setup where more or less every Pokemon needs to do the damage cap and then die. Correct. Right now it is a DPS race. Pretty much all raids are a DPS race, which is not what you want to see. Some have different designs, like I think Suicune and Heatran, obviously, but in general, most of them are DPS raids. My proposal is to lift the damage cap and substitute it with a damage reduction debuff instead. This is different in the sense that it's proportional in linear. It would make more sense to have multi-turn setups for a Pokemon that needs to be protected and do big damage for multiple turns rather than just shoot their shot and die. I will say the other problem with this is that setup moves so for those who don't know, when raids first released, hyper setup and tanky setup specifically was king. It was really, really good. People used stored power Reuniclus with both Calm Mind and Iron Defense. People used Metagrosses with Iron Defense and Hone Claws, right? So setup used to be king, but once people learned more about raids, number one, it's faster to just DPS through everything. The old setup strats used to take a lot longer, and if it's a bad crit, it was all ruined. So there's that to factor in, as well as they just introduced a new mechanic with raids where after every 2 to 3 turns, they wipe all setups. So you can't really set up anymore, if that makes sense. You can't really set up anymore in raids because the raid has a specific custom mechanic that wipes all stat bonuses. Anyways, on its own, it may not be enough. There are clearly other encounter designs to change to put into place, but this direction would open the door to PvM acting more like raid battles in other MMORPGs, where the party has to come together as a unit with a strategy to maximize the party damage output, whereas currently it's much better. It's much more of a everyone do X% of damage and die, with the exception of Weather Setters, Tailwind. I do think it's important to he says exception of, but we shouldn't say, oh, raids are just DPS battles. That's not really true. They're DPS battles because every raid we set up with Tailwind, with Weather. We double our damage. We double our speed. We do all of these things to make it possible to where we can DPS, as well as things like there are certain raids where you have to use gravity to keep the Pokemon grounded, or certain raids where you have to use Sweet Scent to decrease the evasion. It's more than just DPS battles. I think that's important to say, even though I've been saying that a little bit. But I think right now, I would like to see a raid where tankiness is the like more diversity. I would like to see a little more diversity in raid metagames. Let's continue what he says. The Pokemon games have mechanics that allows for roles like tank, healer, and support to be established. Yep, you have those things in game. Correct. There's moves to draw the boss's attention. I like that he brought this up. There's moves to heal and protect allies, etc. This would be ultimately open up the possibility for, say, a Volcarona with Rage Powder. Rage Powder's never been meta in raids, from what I remember. Chansey with Aromatherapy, Captivate, Heal Pulse. Yeah, I would love. How is Heal Pulse not good in raids? Right? It's not. I haven't. Maybe back in the tanky raids, I think it was used, but in modern raids, Heal Pulse is not meta, which is crazy because I feel like it should. It's one of those moves that should be really, really good in raids. You know, a team-based activity. While other party members put up Reflect and Light Screen, Tailwind, Fake Tears, and bring monsters out with Belly Drum, Calm Mind, etc. I like the idea of like encouraging Belly Drum in raids, high risk, high reward type shit, type beat. Obviously the same way as Heatran shakes off. Yeah, so Heatran has like similar kind of some of these mechanics. The same way Heatran shakes off special defense reduction after a certain point or reverses vulnerability. Boss stages can be designed to shake things up and not allow for the described setup to be permanent, allow people to win the raid with a team of 2 to 3 Pokemon. This type of design would shake up raids formation, and the impact would reverberate in the economy, as well as new strategies would require new monsters. My favorite part of raids is that they revitalize economies of different Pokemon. I always say one of my favorite moments was when Primeape became meta for the Darkrai raid and the Primeape market exploded. Like, that was so cool. When people realized that, the first time people realized plus Ampharos was really good, the Ampharos market kind of exploded. Like, it's really, 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 really cool to see when a niche Pokemon that hasn't been good since like 2015 or 2013 or never really been good, like Primeape, all of a sudden is like the meta mon for a raid. It's the coolest feeling. Pokemon has all these different monsters, right? All like 1,000, well in PokeMMO, you know, 600, right? And it sucks sometimes because sometimes you only use a small portion of them, and it's nice to see that variety. That's everyone has a favorite mon. It's my dream. One day Shuckle will be meta in a raid. You know, one day Stunfisk will be meta in a raid. That's my goal. Rampardos is already used to some extent. One of my favorites, right? All right. It would also probably mean a stop to the 31 attack, 31 speed, adamant, or 31. Yep, the double 31, and then this would make it so you would need higher. So this guy wants to basically make raids harder in a lot of ways, and I think I agree with him for certain types of raids. Not every raid needs to be this hard. Obviously, like I think 3-star and 4-star raids probably should remain DPS fights for. Maybe even make some of those like favored to be a tank setup, in my opinion. But I think it's fine to have the lower tier raids. There's different star for different tiers of raids. Be a bit easier, not be this complicated. I get that. And I think they're trying to. I think with things like the Suicune Alpha Suicune raid, the Heatran raid, they're trying to learn some of these mechanics. And I think the PokeMMO devs have done a pretty damn good job, in my opinion, of testing a lot of this stuff. I think people also forget that a lot of what PokeMMO. Sorry, I'm not trying to like, what's it called? Discredit this guy. This guy's post is amazing. I almost agree with everything he's saying, right? With a few qualifications. But reminder, the PokeMMO devs are almost always in uncharted territory. I think that's a really important thing to remember. Like, no other Pokemon MMO is doing a lot of the things that they've done. There are now people are gonna say, "Oh, what about this one has yeah?" Certain other Pokemon MMOs have raids and have other things, not in the same way that PokeMMO does. Not in this complicated nature, not in this cooperative nature. I think there are other certain I think PBO is world bosses, if I'm not mistaken, which I love. I love world bosses. If you don't know world bosses, from my understanding, is this mechanic where everybody goes to this one giant Pokemon. It's like basically an HP like sponge, right? And you just do as much damage as possible until you die, and you like get a percentage of rewards based on how much damage you do. And the whole server, the whole world, the whole server's trying to kill one boss. That's really cool to me. But PokeMMO's raids are very, very different. I would love to see that as well. But the things that PokeMMO is doing, they've invented most of the things, like the breeding system. The breeding system was invented by PokeMMO, then later adapted by things like Temtem, because it was such a good system, right? So there's a lot of things to factor in here. I think this post sums up a lot of ways we can improve raids, and I love the idea of it. Really, really good write-up by Raekwon. Really good write-up, dude. Next up, I'm going to be linking this. I might even do a full video on this. I'm just going to cover this very, very briefly. But I'm going to be linking this. If it's not linked in the description, yell at me in the comments. Yell at me politely. It's a stressful day for a lot of people. But this is a sick post, dude. This is a post covering different OU teams for beginners to get into, and it's so good. It has the full Poke Paste if you want to click those. if you are trying to get into PokeMMO PvP, which is really, really hard to do, right? Because everybody's so talented, everybody tries really hard in PokeMMO PvP. You have to commit so many resources to building a team. These are really, 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 really good teams to build if you want to get into PokeMMO. We have a bunch of different hyper offense options. We have a bunch of different offense options. We have bulky offense. We have I would recommend, I think balance is like the best way to play Pokemon personally. I think it's like I think it's the most like skill based, and like there's a lot. Balance is beautiful. Check out some balance teams down here. There are not any stall teams at all. Don't check those out, please, if you're a new player, especially. Anyways, there's a lot of amazing teams in this forum post, and it's just free resources. Like, this is just free information that this guy was kind enough to. Dude, I can't imagine how much time it took to make a Poke Paste for all of these teams. This must have taken so much time. And there is so much beautiful, like, gold mine of information here for new players trying to get into PvP. Check out these teams, find one you like, and either build that team almost entirely or, like, switch out one mod if you want to, like, you know, insert your own style. I get one, you know, it's not ideal, but I always say some people like myself, I need to insert some sort of Patrouski flair in my team or I won't even have fun. Like, when I win the game, I'll be like, I don't care, you know? So do what you need to do. Have fun, but also try to win some games in PvP, man. It is tough. It is really difficult to get into PokeMMO PvP, but if you persevere, you'll get there. Okay, you will get there. All right, that is the intro for today's stream recap. I hope I didn't get AFK'd in game. I've been, you know, AFK for. Let's go ahead and jump into it. If we have any questions in chat, I will answer those. If you ever want to come in my stream and ask any questions, come hang out, let me know. That's the point for stuff like this, and I love turning my daily streams, Monday through Thursday, not daily, but Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. ET, into these sort of FAQs and helping new players and trying to answer as many questions about the game as possible, because the odds are, if you have a question about the game, someone else also has that same question, and they just haven't had the chance to ask it. So, thanks for watching. Like the video if you enjoy it. Subscribe, of course. Follow me on Twitch, all that jazz. Check out Factor, link down below. Let's go ahead and jump into the actual gameplay. People are asking me if I would ever set up a Twitch Plays PokeMMO Twitch account, which, if you don't know, is basically, there's a way you can set up a bot to where you can have Twitch commands, like enter like up or down or left or right or A and B or whatever, and they basically play the Pokemon. You know, Twitch Plays Pokemon is a very classic thing, if you don't know, but there's also Twitch Plays PokeMMO, and there used to be a Twitch Plays PokeMMO stream that actually used to exist. The problem is I will never set one up because it just takes so much time and resources that I don't have access to. I'm sorry. But for those who ever, you know, it's the heroes that really set that stuff up, because it takes a lot, man. Number one, you usually have to have a whole different computer, a whole different device to run that at all times. Number two, you need to like download the bot, install the bot, and then also reach out to the devs and say, hey, I'm doing Twitch Plays PokeMMO. For those who don't know, there actually is a rules stipulation in the FAQ of PokeMMO to where if you are using a bot for something specific like Twitch Plays PokeMMO, that's actually allowed. I think it's I believe that is the only way you can use a bot in PokeMMO and not get banned. You can actually do that. They will not ban you for using a bot for Twitch Plays PokeMMO, which I think is a very interesting, very based, very specific stipulation. As well as, yeah, you have to have a whole different computer to run it. You have to have, you know, that computer on at all times, running 24/7. You have to have your streaming 24/7, so you're throttling your, you know, you're putting straight on your internet. Like, it's so much. You're running the electricity to run that device permanently. You're running the it's a lot to run something like that, right? It's a lot to run something like that permanently or long term. Twitch Plays PokeMMO is just a way like you can control an account via the Twitch chat. It's like a whole, like, you set up an account for it, you set up a PokeMMO account, a Twitch account, etc., and you can, yeah. It's really, really cool. There used to be one. Whoever did that was amazing, but it is a lot to set up. I think that's everything I want to say about it. I think it's really good. There's like a specific rule stipulation for it is really cool to me, but yeah, it's a lot of work. I'm not doing that anytime soon. If anybody wants to do it, hell yeah, more power to you. Please do. Okay, wow, someone brought up Taco Bell, and I have to drop the first the Foodtrouski take. I have not done a food clip in a stream recap in a very long time, but this is how important this is. Taco Bell brought back their Y2K menu, their like early 2000s nostalgic menu to celebrate, and I didn't really care. It's all like a little too, you know, the prices, is it really that worth it, blah, 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 whatever. Holy shit. The one item I've never had before. This is going to be the most disgusting food take. You guys got to hear me out, okay? I love the chili cheese burrito. Okay, it's dude, I saw this and I was like, surely this is gonna be revolting, but I've got to try it. It is literally just chili and like, I don't know if you know if it's Mexican or cheddar. It's literally just chili and like cheddar cheese in a tortilla. I am so sorry for I have food sinned, but it's so good. I was blown away. It's so comfy, man. I was shocked. If you have $3 burning a hole in your pocket, get one of these bad boys. I recommend trying it for yourself, okay? Don't knock until you try it. I was wildly impressed. Also, I just realized I introduced this stream by saying Boner's back, and I didn't explain why. For those who don't know, that was not my choice, okay? For those who don't know, last year, during a Factor sponsorship, I had a promotion where if we raised enough Factor subs, my Twitch chat could choose... For those who need the lore, my Twitch chat could choose the name of the inflatable $5 skeleton that I bought at Five Below. Boner was the winning name. Nothing I could do about it, okay? Also, we have a Christmas penguin that will come back as well when Christmas rolls around. He is named Patrouski for some reason. So there'll be 2 Patrouskis on stream during Christmas. Yeah, someone said being over 400k dry is horrendous. Yes. For those who don't know, the driest dry streak in PokeMMO history is Kuroshi, who went around 475,000 encounters dry. Yeah, someone said being over 400k dry is horrendous. Being over 100k dry is hard, right? Some people know that experience. Being over 200k dry is agony. Being 300k dry is unbelievable. And being over 400k dry is like irreprehensible. Like it just gets so insane. Like it gets so insane. And when you're the fucked up thing is like when you're 474, 475k dry. I think a lot of us were hoping, kind of fucked up, he would get to 500k. just because it would be crazy if that, you know, that'd be a crazy milestone. If you're already that dry, might as well go to 500. You know. Yeah, that was during Shiny Wars and attested for, and yeah, it's just insane, dude. This is a great question from a PokeMMO staff member, Park. I have a question for you, Patrouski. As a shunner who's gone dry a few times, at what number do you think a hunt becomes mentally draining for hordes? Obviously, singles is different. Yeah, I think singles is mentally draining at like 40k. For hordes, obviously, this is my personal preference. Feel free to, if you want to complain, you can complain. No one's gonna stop you, right? I don't recommend complaining, and I don't think you should complain. While ×5, ×3 is a bit, I don't really know. But like, while ×5 hoarding, I wouldn't even start to complain until you're like 60k dry. And then even then, it's like maybe, you know, I think ×5 hoarding becomes frustrating that you're dry, maybe around 60 to 80k dry. If you're below 60k, you're not even started yet. I see a lot of new players who get to like 34,000 encounters dry and are like, oh man, like this is so hard. And not to like this, it is hard, don't get me wrong, but I worry if you're only, not to say it still takes a lot of time. It's hard to like, we're playing that line of putting respect, because any shiny Pokemon in PokeMMO is respectable and difficult and hard, right? Don't get me wrong, but also keeping your mental health under control and not complaining when you go slightly, the most mildly unlucky, right? And not even that. For those who don't know, we can bring up the shiny binomial distribution. The odds of you going over 30,000 encounters is about 40%. It's like almost a coin flip, right? Your odds of getting a shiny by 30,000 encounters is only around 63%, right? So it is almost like almost a coin flip to go 30k dry over that, right? It's very common. However, when it's your first hunt's the hardest. If you go like 34k dry on your first hunt, I get it, man. That's the hardest. It feels really brutal. I'm also speaking as someone, for those who don't know, I went around 300,000 encounters dry for my first shiny hunt. So if anybody knows what it's like to go dry on their first hunt, I get it. It's you start to like lose your mind. You get paranoid of like, do shinies even exist? It's where like the shiny lock paranoia comes from, is situations like that. You got to keep going. It happens. It's rough. Yeah, someone said in chat, a friend of mine is over 100k dry and he almost dropped the game. It's tough. I get that it's tough, and that's PokeMMO is all about. The point of shiny hunting is not to get the shinies. The point of shiny hunting is to do something that seems so impossible. It's to push through those times of hardship. It is a mental sharpening. I think of shiny hunting as a grindstone, and your fucking dumb little brain is the sword, and you're kind of just sitting there bashing your head over and over again into hordes, into the grindstone. And if you make it through, if you can never give up when shiny hunting, you can do a lot of things in life. So it's very similar to old school RuneScape, in my opinion. I think shiny hunting teaches the most basic level of perseverance, and not even basic, but at the fundamental level, it's perseverance and all about not giving up. So I think shiny hunting can be weirdly a great mental tool. You know, I think it's very similar to RuneScape in that way, in my opinion. All right, this isn't like anything super important, but I was just thinking about it. I think it's super interesting. I bet you a lot of people don't know about this. But for those who don't know, this is only like the second, I believe, maybe the third event season, but like I think it might be the second, where shiny charms aren't from the events. I want to say 4 years ago. 4 years ago, shiny charms used to only be achievable via lucky red, like red envelopes and lucky red envelopes, and that was it. You only got shiny charms were only brought into the game from sealed product, specifically only from one event. And shiny hunting became so popular that they had to change it, right? And that's really, really crazy. They had to change it because it was so popular. And there was a point where shiny charms reached like 1 mil Pokeyen a piece. People don't remember this. Shiny charms used to be an open market to where they could like get to whatever price. Nowadays, shiny charms are tied directly to RP. So shiny charms can't really go crazy nowadays in value. They usually stay around 250k, right? But in the past, shiny charms had reached 1 mil Pokeyen like during certain shiny wars. There was a time where I was buying shiny charms for 900k during like a Team Mr. Shiny war. Things got insane in the past. Because they were only they for a while they were only in lucky red envelopes, and then they tried to make it so that they were available in all the sealed product. So shiny charms for like a year or two were available in pumpkin goodie bags and the Santa presents and lucky reds, and even still the market wasn't controlled. It was really, really, really crazy. It was really, really, really beautiful. Do you think they should nerf the shiny probability or make shiny hunting harder to help the market? The shiny rate seems to be perfect the way it is. Based on everything we've been told from the devs, based on all the data that we understand, they've told us, I think, this is years ago to be fair, but they told us at one point that 60% of shinies that come into the game are consumed. That means via breeding or for prismatic pearls. That's a really good sign of a really healthy economy when things are coming in and being used and consumed and being brought out of the game. You want things to be sunk out of the game like that. Based on everything we know, the shiny rate's perfect. I think this is my personal opinion. If you want to discuss it, you can. I don't even like discussing the shiny rate in PokeMMO because it's so perfect in my opinion that there's just no reason to even waste the energy discuss. There's other things that we can solve, you know, in my personal opinion. The shiny rate is perfect, and I don't think it needs to be touched personally. All right, fellas, I need to set the stage because the clip that we are about to watch, not being over dramatic, not being overly serious, legitimately is PokeMMO history. I'm actually going to mute alerts because it's that serious. It's that important, okay? This is the only time that this has ever happened on camera in PokeMMO. We never had this recorded prior to this moment the other day when Spidget decided to open up one of the single, I believe, most expensive sealed product in PokeMMO. I believe it is a 2016 goodie bag. So it is a sealed product that is 9 years old that nobody opened. Somebody held on to as an investment, which investment was not even a term or a thing thought of back then in 2016. He managed to open the single most expensive vanity in the game that can be opened from sealed product, I believe. Or at least it's up. I think it is. It's up there, but it might be... It's up there. It's up there. I think there might be one. I think the prices might have moved, but this is this is really crazy. Let's just watch it. I'm going to give you a volume warning because this might be pretty loud.
Gonna open this here and now. Thank you so much, Summers. If you guys enjoy the content, like and subscribe. Bro, I can't do it. I can't. 5. No, I'm doing it.
I'm gonna make it big for the open.
Sorry! No fucking way! No way! No way! No way! No way! No chat! Pop the fuck off, chat! Oh! What? No way! No way! No way! No way! No way! No, no, no! No, 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 no!
So, he just opened a fucking scythe, which is like one of the most expensive vanities in all of PokeMMO, and I asked around. I don't think there is a recording. I don't think there is proof. I don't think there is anyone else who has ever opened a scythe in PokeMMO history and recorded it. And he got it in one fucking bag. And he had to get it in one bag because these bags are so expensive. If we go check Goodie Bag 2016s over on the market, Right now, they are 40 mil Pokeyen a piece. 40 mil a piece for one open. 40 for one of the, and there's only, how many are on the market? There's one. In stock, one. There is one of these on the market and it costs 40 mil. That's it. There's one. There's one singular one on the market. That's how rare they are. That's how expensive they are. Nobody opens them because they're just it's so insane. It's such a crazy gamble. And apparently this was after he opened like 50 mil of other mysterious balls and other sealed product, and he ended with this is just ludicrous. The scythe nowadays is actually worth a bit less, unfortunately. For a long time, it was the best backslot item in the entire game, widely considered so. The scythe currently is around 370 million Pokeyen, which is, he just made a 320 million Pokeyen profit in one click. Most people will never make 320 million Pokeyen in their entire lifetime, right? Having said that, what's even crazier is the scythe used to be more expensive. For most of PokeMMO's history, the scythe was around 500 to 600 million Pokeyen, and as of 2 years ago, it actually spiked up to 1.2 bill for a few, like 6 months or so. Now, there is question to that legitimacy. We don't know if someone was manipulating the market, because when it comes to items that are that rare and that expensive, it's actually hard to tell. Someone might have just bought them up. I don't know if anyone bought scythes for 1.2 bill is like the important thing to say. But for like a decade in PokeMMO, the scythe was the end game vanity that most people saved up for. It is like the vanity that most people go for. And to see someone who's a PvP Giga Chad expand into other areas of the game and it's just so crazy. I can't explain to you like the part of me that this tickles as a long-time PokeMMO player, seeing someone open up a 2016 sealed product, an event that I played like in 2025. It's wild. This is genuinely insane. It's genuinely PokeMMO history. This is like the biggest gamble win you can get in PokeMMO. It's the best thing you could possibly. It's insane. I think the ghost costume is also like a really expensive, like might even be, yeah. So there is one. I think this is the one vanity that is more expensive than the scythe that is also in a sealed product. A lot of stuff that's more expensive than these isn't in sealed, like the Q hat, the Desu lab coat, the ones that are worth billions, the ones that can't even be listed on the GTL because they're worth so much Pokeyen. The electric storm, things like that, those cannot be listed on the GTL. They're worth too many billions of Pokeyen. They exceed the 2.2 billion cap limit of Pokeyen in PokeMMO. The ghost costume is from 2015. So, but the problem is, are there even any 2015 goodie bags? I don't know. Let's go check. There's none. You can't. The problem is you can't even gamble for the ghost costume. There's no product that exists on the market, at least. The Jack-o'-lantern. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate the correct. So there's a few. The site, but you can't, but it's also from Halloween 2015. So the 2016 goodie bags, the scythe is the most expensive vanity that you can currently gamble for in Poke. You literally can't even gamble for the 2015 ones because no sealed product is on the market. That's how crazy it is. Yeah, sorry to yap about it so much, but it's just so fucking, it is PokeMMO history. So congratulations. Let me finish the clip. Congratulations to Spidget. This is so insane.
No.
His smile and face says it all, in my opinion.
No.
It's so insane.
We just
it's
opened
so
hundreds of millions worth of shit, and we didn't get anything. Oh my god! We just opened over 1,000 mysterious balls, bro. But we opened one of these motherfuckers.
It's so crazy. It's so insane. Congrats to Spidget, and congratulations and thank you. He opened one, yes. Congratulations and thank you. Like, I literally cannot thank Spidget enough for streaming and recording this, because now we have it in the forever index of PokeMMO history. Thank you so much, man, and congratulations. Thank you guys for watching. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Dislike if not. Subscribe. Follow on Twitch. All that jazz. Have a great day, and also, don't gamble. I know this was a really exciting, history. Don't gamble. You will lose money in the long term. You will almost always lose money. Do not gamble. It is not worth it. It is only for content. Please do not gamble in PokeMMO. Thanks for watching. Check out Spidget. He'll be linked first thing in the description. He's amazing. One of my favorite content creators, PokeMMO. He's awesome. Check him out. Peace, Reno. Yeah, we're talking about like possible changes for PokeMMO. A really simple, amazing change is logging OT shinies into the Pokedex. it seems, I can't imagine it's that hard. Maybe I'm wrong. We already have the OT system. We already have caught OT, like all these things in your Pokedex. Imagine if when you catch a shiny Ponyta, for example, instead of this square around Ponyta being green, it's gold, right? It's a really small change that I think a lot of shiny hunters would love, especially if you want to sell certain shinies you don't enjoy or whatever. Kind of allows you to do that a bit more without feeling so guilty. I think it's just a really small thing that I think would really impact people's enjoyment of shiny hunting a lot. And that's a good example of like a shiny hunting update that you could do that will encourage people to shiny hunt and have fun without necessarily being like an RPK. It's a cash grab, but not a cash grab, if that makes sense. It's a good update that will encourage some people to shun a little bit more, but not be like a cash grab, like a hard cash grab, like temporary incubators. Does that make sense? Perfect. You can still make good updates to the game. Good updates will make people play the game, which will then earn them money versus purely going for cash grabs like mysterious balls or temporary incubators, in my personal opinion. So yeah, would love to see small changes like that. We're talking about like the idea of like we talk about this for like years and years and years, so we're kind of just rehashing the same stuff. But things like achievement diaries in PokeMMO, things like collection logs. If you don't know, in old school RuneScape, there is something called the achievement diaries, where you do like a set of arbitrary goals, and then when you complete those goals, you get like a big reward. I like the idea of like, if you like use the fly animation at the top of Mount Silver, that requires you unlocking Mount Silver, requires all these things, and then you get rewarded by completing like 10 different similar tasks with like a 5% global XP buff. I think that'd be super valid, right? If we're gonna buff anything in PokeMMO, let's buff the XP training, not buffing shiny hunting, right? What else? Then collection log, for those who don't know, collection log is just a checklist essentially. Achievement log like gives you in-game benefits. Collection log is just an in-game collection log is just an in-game checklist where like you would go through and you would see like, oh, like a blue shiny, like that would be like lit up or not lit up, or like, oh, like certain vanities. Some people like Rumel love something called OT vanities, right? OT vanities are not really a thing, right? When you hover over a coiled snake, it doesn't say like, oh, opened by Rumel or opened by whatever player. But some people like to have that feeling of opening up your own vanities and like grinding for them, the sealed product, etc., whatever, right? What if the way to have OT vanities without actually putting an OT on them would be the achievement log, where if you open the vanity, it gets logged in your achievement, or sorry, your collection log, and then if you just buy one, it doesn't, right? There's a lot of cool ways we could add more direction. The biggest thing, of saying it for 5 years now, but the biggest thing in Pokemon that we need is more direction for players to transition from average player to endgame players. A lot of casual players end up feeling like Pokemon doesn't have any content. And I don't think, I've always pushed back, I don't think that's the case. I think Pokemon has tons of content, but a lot of people don't know what that content is, or how to do it, or how to reach it, or how to get there, which is why I started my YouTube channel in the first place. It's literally the main reason. The biggest problem in PokeMMO is the transition from beating all 5 regions and then being a casual player to what do you do next? Would you say PokeMMO is a sandbox? I always say PokeMMO is kind of a sandbox game. It reminds me a lot of Minecraft, where a lot of people, I've said this a million times, I'm sorry if you've heard me say this before, but when you beat the Ender Dragon, a lot of people quit Minecraft, right? They move on. But no one would ever say, oh, Minecraft doesn't have enough content. No. You just kind of moved on from the game, which is nothing wrong with that. So there's also nothing wrong with if you're beat all 5 regions. If you're playing Pokemon for the storylines and for the nostalgia, and you beat all the 5 regions, you want to move on, hell yeah. People used to buy Spyro, play it for 12 hours, beat it, and move on. That's how you play a normal game, right? But live service has kind of melted our brain to think that every game needs to be played permanently by every player, and you just can't do that, right? Lot of things to consider, but I think the 2 biggest ones, 3 biggest updates for Pokemon: permanent raids, achievement diaries, and then collection logs, which just fits so well in Pokemon. I actually did a video a long time ago called Poke Scrolls. I can actually go find it, which was all about the idea of adding clue scrolls in Pokemon, which is another RuneScape mechanic. You know, I'm a little bit biased. Go Poke Scrolls, Patrouski. I have a video on this somewhere. I put a lot of effort into like designing a game mechanic, and to be honest, about a year or 2 has passed now since I've made this video. And instead of Poke Scrolls, I think I think Poke Scrolls would still be fantastic, but I wonder if I would rather them take some of the ideas that I made for the Poke Scrolls and use them towards an achievement diary. Let me go find like one of the examples. Like some of the easy tasks I put into Poke Scrolls was things like catching like 20 Pokemon of a certain age group, smashing a rock, cutting a tree. These are some of the easy ones. Push a boulder, so you need to have the strength HM, right? Let's go check some of the like, and there's like some really hard ones. There's easy, medium, hard, and then I believe like expert clue scroll or master clue scroll tasks. So some of the hard clue scroll tasks were like win an OU game, which would encourage people to get into PvP. Win an NU game, win a double. I'm going to link this in the, if you haven't seen this, it's honestly one of the videos I'm the most proud of. I put so much effort into this video and I feel like it actually is like pretty good game design, but it's my first crack at it. So what do I know? There's also some of the master tier clue scrolls, which are things like beat the Elite Four again. So do an Elite Four refight. Equip/use a shiny in a fight. Catch a Spirit Tomb. Get in a 3-game win streak in PvP. There's a lot of things like that. There's a lot of cool ideas here. Check that out. But yeah, we really need, and once again, to put it all succinctly, we need direction. I think we have plenty of content in PokeMMO. We need direction for new players to develop into more hardcore players. No, it's a good question worth talking about. What do you think about daily objectives or daily quests? I really don't like daily objectives or daily quests as much as things like just permanent achievement diaries or achievement collection log, like that sort of thing, because daily quests are usually used by mobile games to build addiction and to build pattern and habits. Often daily quests and daily login rewards are used maliciously by games to get you to log in every day because it's so efficient to get those daily logins that like if you miss out on them, you have like this element of FOMO, this fear of missing out, right? I don't think it's a good mentality to build for the game. I'd rather have, with an MMO especially, MMOs are not a short-term, like, MMOs are a long-term marathon kind of thing. Daily quests are not bad inherently. Don't get me, I think you can make them in a game where it works and they feel really good and they don't feel manipulative and like, I think they can be a great thing, but I feel like they have a lot of, yeah, I don't like that. Weekly or monthly, I think limited time stuff, we have a lot of I like limited time stuff. I don't know if quests need to be the limited time thing that we do. I'd rather just have permanent achievement log or collection I keep conflating achievement diary and collection log or achievement diary. I think those two things work because you want to log in every day and work towards a long-term goal. You don't want to have that's what MMOs are all about. MMOs are all about that long-term progression. I don't want people to get too sucked into like, oh, I have my daily quest. I do all the fast stuff. I do my daily quest, get the most efficient reward. I do my gym rerun. I do all the most efficient, and then just log out, and I'm done. Also, the problem with daily things is if they're so good, like if the reward is so good, which it often is, you end up in this like guilt. This happened in RuneScape 3 a lot, where RuneScape 3's daily login rewards are so good, you just log in to do those every single day and then log out and you're done. You just stop. You don't actually play the game. You just log in to like do your dailies because they're that efficient and that powerful. There's a lot of problems that come with daily quests. They can function well, but there's a lot more problems to dodge versus just a permanent long-term achievement diary, in my personal opinion. This is an insanely scary question. Patrouski, do you think that they will introduce more incubators in the future where you can buy them with RP or just the 7? So you're already assuming that we get the 7 temporary incubators and you're proposing the idea of what if they add even more? My brain can't even, I don't even want to think about that. We might not even get the 7. The riots, the backlash from the community might have worked. We might have stopped the cash grab update. We'll have to see. I don't even want to think. We don't even have the 7 temporary ones yet. I can't imagine being able to buy more slots in the future. Imagine they introduced the ability to buy incubator slots like the PC expansion drives. I would throw up. I would go on a hard strike and like quit the game for a period of time. That's disgusting. On a positive note, I have seen some comments of people being like, I will spend Pokeyen, I will buy RP if the devs don't implement temporary incubators. I think that's really interesting. And I might I don't know how much I can spend. I have to check my funds, my budget, but I would love to reward the devs on my main account, buy RP. I don't even play my main account. I would just be buying RP just to support the devs. I love the idea of showing support and love for them not implementing a bad update, in my opinion, obviously. I I would love to double down on that. I don't know the amount yet, but I would love to double down on that. People in chat are already spamming not listening for the MOVIETROUSKI takes. Come on, man. It's time for either your most favorite or least favorite part of the stream recap. This is why I use timestamps, fellas. I love it, dude. I love talking about it. MOVIETROUSKI takes, okay? It's time for me to share what movies I've watched recently. If you want to see all my full reviews, which I know a lot of you guys do, everybody's having muted in chat. My full reviews are over on my Letterboxd. You can find me just Patrouski on Letterboxd. Pretty easy to find. I've been loving watching a lot of movies in 2025. Me and my wife go on a ton of movie dates over to the theaters. Bro, why is Hamilton so high? Have you seen Hamilton? It's really fucking good. Anyways, let's go and talk about it. So, I think we watched 5 of these movies were watched in theaters. Me and my wife pay a flat fee to our local theater, and we go see infinite movies for the month. It's a banger deal if you like movies and get the value and go on a lot of date nights. So yeah, it's fucking banger. The Roses, dude, I was scared to go watch this movie. I thought this movie was gonna be like really sad. It's just like it's a movie about divorce and about like relationship struggles, and I was real in marriage in general. In like life in relation to life beating you down during your marriage. I was really scared to watch The Roses with my partner. It was like stressful, blah, blah, blah. It was really, really beautiful, and I was so blown away. I think it is an absolute classic for a reason. It's based on a book from like the 40s called like War of the Roses, and they made a movie in the 80s with Danny DeVito, and then they remade it recently with Olivia Colman, who's amazing, and what's it called, Cumberbatch. Benedict? Is that the most British name of all time? Benedict Cumberbatch. He's obviously amazing as well. The Roses was really... I thought The Roses did a really good job of showing a truly, like... how relationships kind of just crumble, and how it's really sad, and how it wasn't really anybody's fault to some extent. Bad things just kept happening. Wires kept getting crossed, and then they kept lacking empathy for each other, and they didn't communicate properly. And it's very obvious, but like... communication, very, very important in relationships. I thought it was a really beautiful, really earnest, really honest, vulnerable view of marriage, and I thought it was really, really beautiful. So check out Roses, or the Roses. I think it's honestly a must-watch for anybody who's married, man. I think it's really fucking cute. Anyways, next up, Preparation for the Next Life. Damn, dude. This movie's supposed to be like critically really, really, really good. This was a terrible movie. My wife agreed. There is an amazing story being told here, okay? The story in this movie is really, really beautiful. It's about kind of a toxic relationship, and it's about a first-generation immigrant kind of vibing with a military guy, and they kind of become friends, and there's a really beautiful story here about like doing what's best for you and when to prioritize that and not to get bogged down and all these things. But it's presented so terribly. This is a really rare movie where the plot is amazing. The plot and the themes are the ideas are amazing, and it was horrible execution. An incredibly disappointing movie. Roses got a 9 out of 10 and a like for me. Preparation for the Next Life got a 2 out of 10 for me. I wish I didn't go to see this in theaters. What a waste of time. A 2-hour movie as well that had some of the longest. This movie had some of the most dead air with little dramatic effect I've ever seen in a movie. This movie easily could have been an hour and a half, hour 20 minutes. I had so many issues with this movie. This movie constantly... One of my biggest problems, this movie never tries to make you feel a certain way. It tells you how to feel. This movie tells you how to feel without making you feel that way, which is really, really obviously not a good setup. So I was really, really disappointed by this beautiful idea. Absolutely just obliterated in terms of the execution. Next up, the producers, man. This is gonna make some people upset. These are just my opinions, my thoughts. I am not a movie expert. I'm not very good with movies. I just like watching them. Okay, I watch probably a movie a day in 2025 on average. Sometimes up to 3 movies a day. The Producers. This is supposed to be a very classic comedy from 1967, and a lot of people are like, oh, is it offensive? Like, to me, it wasn't really offensive as much as it was just unfunny. Just unfunny and uninteresting and boring. And there's some old movies that hold up for me. 12 Angry Men, one of the few old movies that holds up. The original Planet of the Apes, I have some nostalgia for it, so I'm giving it some leeway there. But man, dude, the more old movies I watch with zero nostalgia attached, the more I am convinced that almost all old movies are kind of bad, which is that take can't be true. I want to prove myself wrong because I hate that take. I hate the idea of that. That can't be true. If you have old movies for me to watch, recommend them in the comments. I would love to watch some older movies that are really, really good. Man, I've had a really fucking hard time trying to watch old movies. The acting is just, it's insane. If you want to see how far we've come with acting and how far we've come with movies, just try to watch an old movie. It's really, really, it's humbling. It's humbling, in my opinion. I give producers a 4 out of 10 or a 2 out of 5. Next up, Cat Video Fest. Okay, this was a really cute. Cat Video Fest is exactly what it sounds like. It is just cat videos in a movie theater, okay? Me and my wife, we set our alarms. We woke up at 9 a.m. We went and we made a date morning. We did this on Football Sunday. So Football Sunday morning, we woke up at 9 a.m., got McDonald's breakfast, went to go watch cat videos for an hour and 20 minutes in a movie theater while holding hands and saying us the whole time. And then afterwards, we went to like the grocery store and got some like mozzarella sticks to come home and make for. I watched football all day after that. It was amazing. Date night, date morning. And then football all day was, honestly, that was one of my favorite Sundays in a long time. Holy fuck, it was so good. Having said that, Cat Video Fest was fine. You quickly realize, about 15 minutes into Cat Video Fest, you're like, okay, wait, maybe cat videos are better in like 5-minute increments. Maybe I don't need to wake up and watch an hour and a half of cat. It's just too much. It's just, I love cat videos as much as the next guy, man. It's just too much. I can't watch just cat videos for an hour and 20 minutes. You get really bored. It gets really monotonous. It was cute. The audience was honestly a cute part. There was a lot of kids that were laughing, a lot of older cat ladies, you know, maybe cat milfs, one might say, having a time of their life. That was honestly like it felt like doom. It was doom scrolling on the big screen. Absolutely. What NFL team do you root for? Baltimore Ravens. Week 1 was week 1 was rough, okay? But we're going to come back in week 2. Just one football day. It's just one game, okay? One game. Anyways. All right, that's Cat Video Fest. The most fucked up thing on this list is Cat Video Fest outranking The Master. Cat Video Fest getting a 2.5 out of 5 or a 5 out of 10. The Master is considered to be an amazing movie. It is supposed to be, what's like the average score? I think it has an 8 out of 10 average on Letterboxd. It has an 85% on Rotten Tomatoes. Me and my wife both walked away from The Master being like, what the fuck was that? To put The Master, in my personal opinion, maybe I'm just too stupid, okay? Maybe I'm just too dumb. I just didn't get it. Me and my wife tried to watch a lot of, I'm sorry. I'm actually going to lock in. I'm going to be a little bit of a hater for The Master. I'm sorry. I got to express my real thoughts, okay? Every video we tried to watch, we looked up Master Explained, The Master Details. We watched like 6 YouTube videos talking about The Master. Every YouTube video just starts by jerking off the director, Paul Thomas Anderson. Every video is, Paul Thomas Anderson, such a fucking genius. Oh my god, he's so smart. Oh my god, he's such a good director. And then being like, okay, why is he a good director? Oh, he's just a fucking, he's so smart, dude. He's so genius. His movies are so good. And then like, then you ask, okay, why are his movies so good? Because he's a fucking genius. It's a fucking cyclical loop, bro. Every Paul Thomas Anderson fan is like, the guy's a genius, and you're like, okay, why is he a genius? His movies are so good. Why are his movies so good? Because he's a fucking genius. Oh my god, nobody could substantiate why The Master is good. I literally could not find a single fucking video, a single post actually substantiating why The Master is a good movie. It was so incredibly pretentious. It is, this movie feels, to TLDR it, this movie feels like an overly artsy inside view of a cult. That's it. There was nothing interesting. It just felt like a circle jerk for Paul Thomas Anderson fans. And I feel like, I'm at the point where I just can't trust directors with the last name Anderson. That's what I'm learning. Or they're not for me. Wes Anderson, Paul Thomas Anderson, I don't think they're for me, or I just don't, they're just so uninteresting. To me, they come off very overly artsy, very overly pretentious, and without presenting a point. I'm not a fan. Anyway, so I give The Master a 4 out of 10. Literally losing. The Master lost to an hour and 20 minutes of cat videos. Let the record show. Next up, I gotta hop on my fucking 25-year-old, I'm 27, but 27-year-old white boy shit. Hamilton, bro. Is it the most basic take of all time? It is, bro, okay? But I fucking love Hamilton. I'm gonna be honest. Hamilton's fucking goated. It's a 10 out of 10. It's a perfect film or play, theater, whatever you want to call it. Is Lin-Manuel one of the goofiest motherfuckers to ever live? Yes, okay? And that kind of adds to the heart of it, okay? Kind of adds to the heart. It's the most cold, basic take of all time. If you haven't seen it, go watch Hamilton. My first time watching it, I was like, I don't know if I like this. But my second or third time, I was like, oh, this is fucking genius. Holy, it's so, I love it, man. It's so good. It's so earnest. One of the most earnest pieces of media that's ever been made. Me and my wife watched it live a year or two ago. Hamilton's fantastic. It's we watched this in theaters. The 10-year anniversary. We watched this. So Hamilton, The Master, Cat Video Fest, Preparation for the Next Life, and The Roses, all those 5 of those movies, I all saw in theaters recently. Which most of them, Preparation for the Next Life was not worth it. The Master is still worth watching, even though I have big beef with it. And I think it's still worth watching for the vibe. I almost gave The Master like a 3 or a 2.5, but the ending for me lowered it. I was like, what the? There's no interesting resolution. Anyways, Hamilton's a perfect movie. Clears everything else on this list every time. Is it basic? Yes. Is it true? Also, yes. Check it out. Thanks for watching MOVIETROUSKI Takes. I'll see you guys next time with tons of more movies. Alrighty though, fellas, been live for a little over 3 hours. Should be a pretty juicy stream recap today. I feel like a lot of good points were brought up, a lot of good discussion was had. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like the video if you did enjoy it, dislike if not. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube for daily PokeMMO videos. I do upload every single day. Follow on Twitch for streams Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. ET. Discord's down below. Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, YouTube memberships, all that jazz. Factor if you want to go above and beyond and support the stream, support the content the best possible way. It is greatly appreciated. Event season is coming around, fellas, but I want to leave you guys with the just try to spread one piece of kindness today, one piece of love. Go tell somebody you love them. Go compliment a stranger. Do something, man. Obviously, weird day for the world. A lot going on. A lot going on. I love you all very much. Have a great day. Have fun. Distract yourselves as much as you can to some extent, and also just remind everybody that you love them, you know, do that sort of thing. I love you guys. I'll see you later. Have a great day. Have a great night. Play PokeMMO. Enjoy yourselves. Peace, Reno.
Yo, what's up? Outro Patrouski here, and I wanted to take this time to say thank you to everyone who goes above and beyond and supports my channel. Your names are all listed here. You make it possible for me to make helpful and mildly entertaining content for the game that I love and make it available for free for everyone to enjoy. Thank you so much for allowing me to even be here.